7 billion people in the world, most of which go about their daily routine without ever thinking about what goes on while they sleep. Despite this, most people have talked about their dreams. But just what is a dream, and what do they mean?
A dream is just a set of thoughts that occur when you're asleep.
I would describe a dream as a subconscious act that happens when you are in deep sleep.
I'd probably say it was kind of like a playback of, what you've done recently or talked about recently, or things playing on your mind.
Your subconscious trying to tell you things that you maybe don't want to hear.
Well, a dream is essentially, I think it's a random collection of memories that you only really are aware of if you have to wake up during or shortly after it.
Your brain getting rid of old memories or not properly formed memories, or maybe playing through some of the things you've been thinking about in the day.
People go through different stages of sleep. REM occurs every 90 to 100 minutes. However, dreams usually occur during the final REM period. So what sorts of dreams do people have, and what do they mean?
I had a dream the other night that was just in a lecture, but that's just me in the lecture, and it was a pretty lucid dream. It seemed realistic because I was pretty bored.
They seem to have this kind of filmic aesthetic. They contain friends and elements of my life, but they can also sometimes be really weird or sexual or just really surreal, which I guess is what dreams are.
I've had dreams where I go along and kill people, and some of them have been like Tim Burton style, which have been quite strange and a little bit abstract at times, but yeah, they're normally quite sinister in mind.
Money worries and just general worries.
There was one that I was getting married, because recently I've been to a wedding. I don't know who I was being married to, but it was such an insignificant problem compared to the fact that I didn't know who I was marrying.
I think I've definitely had one where I've been falling, those sort of dreams. But I can't remember the details of them very well.
Normally sort of panicky ones where I'm late for something and it's all going wrong and it's raining and I forgot my keys and I forgot to pick the kids up, or the airport's not where I thought it was.
Sometimes I guess it's things that are going through your mind, certain ideas, or maybe films you've seen. I find kind of affect my dreams a lot, especially if it's a horror.
I think that it's the subconscious playing through what it might want to happen or things that have recently happened.
I think it's just if it's something on my mind or I've watched a film and it's kind of spurred on from there.
Yeah, whatever thoughts you've had during the day, whether you know about them or not, they sort of reappear.
No, I think the meaning is more when you're remembering them and you try to construct a meaning out of it. That's more meaningful than the actual content of the dreams themselves.
Like dreams, illusions are scarcely thought about, yet are very similar. What is an illusion, and is there a correlation between them and dreams?
I would think of, tricks, maybe illusionists.
I think of a magic trick.
Darren Brown.
Optics, I don't know, something that you believe to be there but isn't.
Something that isn't real that you think is real.
The bar in the SU.
Trickery, maybe falseness.
Maybe because illusions are like mind tricks, and your mind will play tricks on you when you're asleep.
I suppose in the way that they're very fantastical and obviously they're not real. I think that's the way you can make them.
With a dream, it is real because everyone dreams, but obviously it's not because it's not reality.
I guess there is, because they are both based on the idea of something that could possibly exist but doesn't.
In the 1890s, the idea of psychoanalysis was developed by Freud, a neurologist interested in unconscious mental processes. Psychoanalysis was, in short, a method to help uncover the meanings of dreams as well as other things. But nowadays, do his ideas linger, or are there better ways to describe dreams?
I think it probably still lingers because a lot of his theories that I've read up on are what I think are like kind of correct, but there's probably a lot more studying to be done in terms of dreams.
I think he had a few good points in that maybe what we see in our dreams can mean other things than what they are, but he seemed to attribute a lot to them, maybe too much.
In a way, I guess I can see what he was trying to get at. I mean, the idea that dreams are unconscious, telling us our desires and our most kind of our deepest fears and longings. I guess I can see that aspect of it, but I think it doesn't play as large a role as he thought it did.
I think they're outdated because, for one thing, they're based on ideas from 100 years ago, middle-class Viennese people with lots of money, but also because they weren't couched in a way that allowed them to be scientifically investigated. You couldn't draw hypotheses from them that could be tested, and that meant that when psychology was starting off as a science, it didn't start from Freud. It started from people looking at visual illusions and perception and sensation, and so his work just had no sort of carry on in the development of psychology as a science.